سلام دوستان، ایمان هستم و خوش اومدید به پارت 4 بازی استنلی. پس یادتون نره که اگه از این ویدیو خوشتون اومد این ویدیو رو لایک کنید، چنل رو سابسکرایب کنید، زنگ گلش هم بزنید، اینستاگرام هم این بالا میاد یادتون نره فالو کنید. عاشقتونم. بزنیم بریم سراغ این ویدیو. خب دوستان عزیز، بریم سراغ این بازی مریض. خب دوستان میریم بیرون.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
خب دوستان کلا محل کار عوض شد، یعنی تغییر که شمارمون تغییر کرد. یعنی ما الان شماره 427یم. اون موقع شماره ها رو میزد روی مانیتور، ما باید شمارمون رو حفظ میکردیم. شماره 427. خب فکر نکنم حفظ بشم، ولی خب حالا میگه که برو به میتینگ روم و همه درا بسته است جز یه دونه. یعنی میشه این بازی از حالت مریضی در بیاد؟ نه نمیشه، چون دو تا
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
شاید الان خب چون ادامه بازی دیگه از اول که نیومده، همه چی اون جوریه که این میگه. یعنی ما میریم سمت چپ.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
واسه ببینم، یعنی ما از اول چه در سمت چپ میرفتیم مستقیم میامدیم میتینگ رو.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
یعنی الان بریم بالا دوباره میریم اونجا، بعد همون داستانه دوباره تکرار میشه. یعنی من بریم الان پایین چی میشه؟ بریم پایین یه بار.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of
شاید تو دیوانه باشی. چیه تو؟ یه اسکول کاملی. حرف نزن. تو حرف من حرف نزن. دارم حرف میزنم. اسکول. تو یه آدم اسکولی. بذار من حرفم بزنم. تو یه آدم اسکول بیماری که ما رو از اولش هم اسکول کرده بودی. بیا دوباره رفتیم اینجا، داریم دور خودمون میچرخیم. همش تقصیر توی اسکوله. حرف نزن. بیا همینجوری تکرار میشه و همش تقصیر توی اسکوله. بیا.
He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing?
واقعا من همش دارم این سوال میپرسم، این اسکولی که داره توی ذهن من حرف میزنه کیه؟ این اسکول چرا من به حرفش باید گوش کنم؟
About a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
دوست دارم این یارو رو بگیرم بزنم. باز دوباره اینجاییم.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I'm real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? And everything went black. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
وای خدا. چیکار کنم از دست این من چیکار کنم؟ چرا نمیمیره؟
چرا نمیمیری؟ چرا تموم نمیشی؟
تو چرا نمیمیری؟
چرا تموم نمیشی؟
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
میرم بالا. اومدم اینجا که اومدم. میرم این تو اینجا.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
خب دوستان اگه از این ویدیو خوشتون اومد این ویدیو رو باشه دارم از بچه ها خداحافظی میکنم. یادتون نره که این ویدیو رو لایک کنید، چنلم سابسکرایب کنید، اگه پارت بعدی هم بخواین که فکر نکنم من جای شما بودم پارت بعدی رو نمیخواستم، توی کامنت ها واسه من بنویسید. عاشقتونم. تا ویدیوی بعدی. بدرود دوستان.